What is good, CV Nation? Welcome back to another live stream. Today is a very special day because we are debating live who really is the first Avenger in the MCU. Okay, we're not doing comics because we don't want to do comics. We'll do MCU. But we got AJ in here helping out with the stream. What's going on?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready for this.
You ready to defend that person right behind you?
It's a long time coming. We've been talking about this.
For sure. You ready to defend the person right behind you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. You've been doing your research?
Oh yeah. It's gonna be cake. It's gonna be cake.
All right. We also got Chris from Film.
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm excited to talk about Marvel, MCU in specific. But I can't speak today already.
It's good. It's good. And then we got Trevor from Film Geeks. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing super duper rocking fantastic, guys. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to be here.
Film fanatic in here. Don't worry, you're not late. We were the ones late. Stranger Boy, Ninja Bricks, movie buff guy. What's going on? Ginger Cat. All right. So we're not going to waste any time with this. Get right into it. So, AJ, you want to start off? I know we all know you're defending Captain Marvel. So
yes, I am defending Captain Marvel today as the first Avenger in the MCU.
Okay.
So I just dive into it.
Just give me like a brief argument, not too long, just a brief statement.
Okay. Captain Marvel is the first Avenger in the MCU because we all know who created the Avengers Initiative, and that is Nick Fury. Yes. Everybody can agree that's facts. So Captain Marvel inspired Nick Fury to create the Avengers, and there's no doubt about that. Like it's in the film, and you just know that. So I mean, how can she not be the first Avenger? Come on.
Oh, okay. All right. Solid start. Chris, let's go to you.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I'm not 100% on my pick, which is what's cool about this debate. I can be swayed one way or the other. Right now I'm pretty set on Captain America being the first Avenger. His movie is called The First Avenger. I think that is like a blinking light, but he, chronologically speaking, he's the first hero out of all these, and while he might not technically he was in the ice when Nick Fury approached Tony Stark, sure, but he's still a hero and Avenger, and he's the oldest of the bunch if you look at it age-wise, and he's been around the longest. These stories of him are inspired the current Avengers, and of course Howard Stark knew him and took a lot of inspiration from him. So yeah, those are some opening statements I'll have.
All right.
I'm willing to be swayed though. So
yes, same here. This is a very open discussion.
Nope.
Unlike the Spider-Man.
It's not open. It's a single-minded discussion right here. Iron Man is the first Avenger, and here's why. I'll tell you why. First off, Captain Marvel movie doesn't make sense. Movie buff guy 3000. See, me and you are on the same wavelength right now. Captain Marvel's movie doesn't necessarily make sense because they talk about a SHIELD logo and SHIELD and all that. And that wasn't created until 2008's Iron Man, when Tony Stark's big thing to Agent Coulson is you need to find an abbreviated version for whatever SHIELD stands for. That's beside the point. Second off, Iron Man is like the only one who knows about the Avengers Initiative in the first Avengers movie. Like he and Pepper are talking about to Agent Coulson, and then he gets a thing of everyone. And Incredible Hulk, at the end of it, post-credit scene, Tony Stark is talking to Bruce Banner, Edward Norton at the time. Hey, come, we're joining. They're starting a little team. Come and join it. Nick Fury literally approaches Captain America in Avengers, says, "Hey, how's it going? Basically, come join our team." So Iron Man was the only one who really knew about the Avengers Initiative. And like superhero, yes, Captain America, Captain Marvel were before them, but for the Avengers team, Tony Stark was part of it. The person who basically was chosen to start it. So that's my answer.
I think I'm very much with you, Trevor. I think it is Iron Man in a way, but I've been doing my research, and I think I can see an argument for for Hawkeye, because he said in the first Avengers movie that he was sent to kill Nat, but then because it kind of came down for me to Black Widow and Clint because I think Iron Man, he was not exactly on board in Iron Man 2. He was like, I'm not going to join your super secret boy band. So it was kind of like up in the air, in my opinion. So then you see Clint has been with S.H.I.E.L.D. Both of them, they've been with S.H.I.E.L.D. for a long time. And so they were both listed. Movie files, Elliot's in here saying, what about Black Widow and Hawkeye? That's what I'm trying to say, that with Hawkeye, he was sent to kill Nat, meaning he was with S.H.I.E.L.D. even before Nat was. So I can see Hawkeye kind of being a possibility in my eyes. I think Hawkeye, I can see an argument being made, but Captain America, it's weird because I don't agree because I don't really see it. I don't see how he's the first Avenger. He kind of predates the whole what's it called? The whole initiative. And I think there were already Avengers. Some people had already been recruited by the time he was gotten out of the ice. So in my eyes, I don't think it's him. But go ahead.
I have just like a quick thing. So
yeah,
he could be the first Avenger because he was the first before any of them, and he's an Avenger. So first Avenger.
Yeah,
I have to say something to that. I have to add something to that.
Okay.
Yes, the thing about that is MCU told you what to think when they named Captain America the first Avenger film. I don't let people tell me what to think. I go by the facts. And the fact of the matter is he was the first born Avenger. Okay, that's fine. But the first member of the initiative, the one who inspired it, was Captain Marvel.
But Thor is like 1,500 years old. So
yeah, I mean, so technically Thor can be the first Avenger. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can say Thor or Tony Stark drove a car first. Like, I mean, he's the first Avenger in that way. Like, so like it just doesn't matter that way. But I count it because Captain Marvel inspired the initiative in the first place. I know you might hate it. I know you don't like the character, you don't like the film. The film sucks to you guys. It's okay. You guys got to leave all that at the door. You know what I'm saying?
Elliot's saying, what about Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne? So to my
that's just absurd to me. I love Elliot.
Okay. Yeah, Elliot's awesome. Elliot's awesome. But
to my understanding, Hank Pym was the first one because in Avengers #1, the comics, he was the one who kind of said, "Let's make a team." So comics wise, I'm with you. I think Hank Pym is the first one, and I think Janet was the one who came up with the name The Avengers. But we're talking MCU, and
MCU.
I don't see Hank Pym as MCU first Avenger. I think somebody said something. Yeah, they were just S.H.I.E.L.D. operatives. That with Black Widow and Hawkeye. But they were listed as Avengers Initiative members in like some screen on a computer. I think it may have been the first Avengers where they both had Avengers Initiative members under their name. So they were considered for the initiative. So I see Hawkeye as a contender for it. And then Cap is the first Avenger, no debate. Well, I think the title
there is a debate because we're doing it now. So there is a debate.
There is a debate. We're gonna do it. I think the title is kind of wrong in my eyes. The first Avenger. So
agreed.
I don't know.
First born Avenger is
oldest Avenger. Yeah, it should be called oldest Avenger, man. Yeah.
Oldest Earth Avenger. I think it would have been probably the best thing. Iron Man has more of a case than Captain Marvel to me. Why would she get all the credit and fought for one battle in an Avengers movie for 15 minutes?
Exactly. It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how many battles that she fought. It doesn't matter who inspired the Avengers, who inspired Nick Fury. It's because of her heroic acts. It doesn't matter.
AJ, I understand where you're coming from. Like her plane, her jet was named the Avenger, right? I've seen the movie one time. That's what, yeah. Okay. So I understand exactly where you're coming from, and you're making a valid argument for it. But like to me, why was she never mentioned, never foreshadowed in any movie until her movie? You know, we never got to hear anything else. That's what the problem was for me. They didn't do it for her to be labeled it. Is because the MCU didn't give any limelight to her. They said like Tony Stark was the reason the Avengers group started. Yes, Captain Marvel might inspire the name, but she wasn't a part of the group until Endgame. If we're just going off the movies, Captain Marvel wasn't a part of the group until Avengers Endgame. And when she comes in, she's this rude to all the Avengers. She's not part of the team. She's the opposite of the team. She's like, it's like Shaq and Kobe. They had a bunch of beef, and that's what she kind of brought in, just beef.
Yeah, you can say the same thing about a lot of different Avengers. They weren't talked about until their movie was out. So that's not
the first Avenger debate, though. That's the thing. This is the only reason I said that is because of the first Avenger debate. That's all.
Okay, well, yeah. And not all of the Avengers were recruited by Nick Fury or even Tony Stark. But they weren't.
We're just talking about the first Avenger, and Tony Stark was the one who recruited everyone for the first Avenger. Like, everyone came out later. Ant-Man's not in this conversation because he wasn't the first Avenger.
No,
Tony Stark, first Avenger.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, let's see. Max in here saying Captain America was the firstborn person to join the Avengers. He was the first person to get his powers. He didn't initiate or invent the Avengers. The first man on the moon didn't initiate the idea of landing on the moon. He just did it. Just because Cap didn't invent the Avengers doesn't mean he couldn't be the first. Well, I'm not saying that Cap invented the Avengers.
Yeah, that has... Yeah.
Or initiated that, because if we were, then technically Nick Fury.
I have a genuine question. It's for discussion.
Yes.
If everyone said that it shouldn't be called the First Avenger, why not? Like, why do you think Marvel called it the First Avenger then? Just like because they didn't know their story or didn't know what their idea for it all was, or
no?
Just asking.
I'll take. I feel like it rolls off the tongue. It's something easy to say. Like Captain America, the firstborn Avenger, doesn't roll off the tongue, but the first Avenger. And I'm just like, when I watched Captain Marvel, I was like, so Captain America did not inspire the Avengers initiative. It was Captain Marvel.
But Captain Marvel, it inspired the name the Avengers. Before that, it was the Protector Initiative. So.
Okay. But that's we're talking about the Avengers Initiative.
But in a way too, though, like, so Captain Marvel inspired the name, but like, why didn't the Avengers start in the 90s with Captain Marvel? It didn't start till 2008 with Tony Stark. Tony Stark was the first. Tony Stark was first recruited Avenger, and I think if we're gonna make any argument, Nick Fury could technically be the first Avenger because he's like the coach, the manager, and the owner of the team all in one. So he can technically be like, I started all this in a way. So
yeah, but technically he's not a superhero. I mean, he's a hero, but he's not super.
No, I understand.
That's really what the Avengers are.
Yeah.
So is Batman like part of the Justice League? I mean, that's like just that was random to me. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's another topic for another time, but he's not. He doesn't have like superpowers technically. But I see what you're saying though.
Right. Yeah. Let's see what more people are saying. Not that. Captain America was planned from the beginning. There wouldn't be an Avengers without him.
I think he's definitely an inspiration for later down the road. He's a World War II hero. The stories of him probably inspired the Avengers as he essentially led a group to rescue Bucky and them. And then once he had like his little squad, when they went to the train in First Avenger, they were almost like a group of Avengers in World War II, essentially. So I definitely think he laid inspiration. The stories through Howard Stark, I think that he had like, I just think that he's the first Avenger. That's just my opinion. But Iron Man would be, if I had to pick someone else, I would say Iron Man. If we're going, but what are the terms of First Avenger? Are we like, that's what I think we need to settle is like, is it the first recruited Avenger? Because if so, it's 100% Iron Man. But if it's like the first of like Avenger, it's Captain America. Like if you're looking at it in a sense of like he is the first Avenger. Like I just feel that way about it.
So let's go back. Okay.
No,
go ahead.
Yeah, there's no really like like kind of I guess definitive answers. There's no because there's different like angles to tackle it from. You can do firstborn, you can do first recruited, you can do first to exist, first inspiration. So I think for this one, it probably makes the most sense. Like, who was the first member of the team? Like, once the Avengers Initiative has been established, who is technically the first member that is part? Who's the person that is first on board with the whole initiative? So I think that's Iron
Man.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Or Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel.
I don't.
Gotta be.
But if in the movies, she wasn't in the movies till Endgame. Her movie was in the 90s. She wasn't anywhere near there. So like to be a part of the team, she didn't know any. It's like saying the Lakers is like LeBron's team. It's like, no, it's always going to be Kobe's team, you know? That's how it is. She came in later. Yes, she's the most powerful and she might be one of the oldest, but she came in later and helped out a bunch. Yes. But doesn't make her the first Avenger.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't. She's like, she inspired. Yeah, I think, how about this? I think what the MCU did with her movie is complete hot garbage. Let's just be real right there for a second. And
okay, that's your opinion.
I think I understand it's my opinion. Yeah, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, but I'm saying, like, for her Jet to be named the Avenger, and he's like, we're going to call them the Avengers, not the Protectors. I'm like, over a Jet? Really?
That's what happened.
I know what's what happened. I think that is stupid.
Just because you think that it's stupid doesn't mean that it didn't happen, though.
I understand it. I understand it happened, but I still do not think that makes her the first Avenger. Maybe her Jet's the first Avenger then, because that her Jet's the one that was named the Avenger. That's more of an argument than Captain Marvel now.
No. Okay.
Okay. Well, movie buff guys kind of agreeing with me with Hawkeye. I think we're seeing some love for Hawkeye. Captain Marvel was the inspiration behind the name.
Yeah,
it was
behind the name.
Something else. Exactly. It was called something else, but she inspired the name. Didn't become part of the Avengers until she landed on Earth. Nick Fury only called Captain Marvel until after Thanos snapped. She literally gave him the pager and was like, only for emergencies. That doesn't make you a part of the team in my eyes. That doesn't make you an Avenger, I wouldn't say, because you're literally saying, I'm not gonna be there all the time. Just really use me when you need me, and that doesn't.
And that's still a part of the team. That's still a part of something. She wouldn't have said that at all if she wasn't a part of something, right?
But she didn't. No one knew who she was, and she didn't. The team didn't know who she was, and she didn't know who any of they were either. For her to be like a part, if you're a part of the team, she would come in like Tony Stark. Everyone, how's it going? She just came in Endgame, and she was like stupid rude to everyone. Like, I'm gonna go kill Thanos. Like, I'm better than all you guys. Basically, that's how she came in. Like, she was inspired the team name. Sure, I'll give you that. But for her to be labeled the first Avenger of our team. She didn't do anything to help him in New York, didn't do anything in Age of Ultron, do anything in Infinity War, and I get Nick Fury had to call her, but I'm saying I don't think she was a part of our team until Nick Fury called her. Is she Avenger now? Sure, but I don't think she was an Avenger until Nick Fury called her.
Yeah, and if you're not an Avenger until very recently, I don't see you being the first Avenger. I don't see that being an argument.
But she came in the 90s, though, so she technically, I mean...
Then Captain America has to be because he came in the World War II.
Right, but he was still in ice when Avengers Initiative was created. So,
but that's I was saying, like you said, she came in the 90s, but like Captain America came even before that, and then technically inspired that too. That's all.
Yeah.
So I think it has to come down.
You know what? I think it's all irrelevant because the commander from Sky High, Kurt Russell's character, would take them all down. Like he honestly is better than any of these characters. So.
Then
I just had to show some love to Sky High. Yeah, just had to show some love to Sky High.
Yeah, that watch was really fun.
She was rude to the Avengers. # not my Avenger. Not.
She technically wasn't rude. She was just adamant. I feel like she was adamant. I didn't feel like she was rude. I felt like she had a mission and she wanted to. She's powerful enough. She said, "I'm powerful enough. I'm going to do this." I don't feel like that was necessarily rude. She did not have the whole story, but I mean, hey, I don't feel like it was disrespectful.
I do because like we lost half of our people and like the Avengers were so hurt, and like she kind of like dismissed everything they went through. Like they all got their butts whooped and half their people died. So I feel like she was like, I'm gonna go kill Thanos. Like you guys could. It seemed like you guys couldn't, so I'm gonna go do it. That's how I took it as in the theater. I was like, when she said that, I was like,
she didn't say
how it sounded. I understand she didn't say. Obviously she didn't say that, dude. But I'm saying how it sounded, and most people can agree how it sounded did not sound good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Thor is pretty old. What about him? Yeah, I mentioned Thor. Thor is like 1,500 years old. So
if we're doing Firstborn,
Firstborn, I would give it to Thor even over Cap because even though. Yeah, I would. He predates the whole initiative thing. Like the initiative wasn't a thing when he was born, but he's a member of the team now, and he was born a long time ago. So Firstborn, I would kind of give it to Thor. I guess, yeah, I would give to Thor. When was the Protective Initiative created? It was the Avengers, just under a different name. Yeah, it was the Avengers Initiative and the Protector Initiative are the same exact thing, except after the events of Captain Marvel, Nick Fury goes and types in Avenger instead of Protector by looking at a picture of Carol. So I don't know, when was it created? Does anybody know when it was created? Because I don't. Yeah, I
Not sure.
not sure when it was created. So all I know is that he changed the name, and that inspires the name. Like, she inspired the Avengers,
That we know, the Avengers that we know and love. She did.
but she didn't inspire the Avengers. Like, the Avengers themselves, I wouldn't say she inspired them. You know,
She inspired the name. I think,
Yeah.
yes, the idea sprouted from Captain Marvel. I can agree with that. Doesn't make her the first one. That's I don't agree with. She's not the first, but she might have inspired it. Doesn't mean she wasn't on team though. She can inspire the name, but she wasn't on team.
exactly.
Okay.
Did people want
But that
Captain
still
Marvel?
makes she's still the first Avenger, even if she wasn't part of that group at the time.
Right.
She's still part of that. Because she
somewhat
is
like,
part of it now. So okay, go ahead with the comments.
yeah, somewhat liked Captain Marvel. Movie did not like her in Endgame. I liked her way better.
That's
in Endgame.
yeah, that's not usually people are the opposite with that.
Yeah, I thought she was way better in Captain Marvel or in Endgame. But so Chris, did your mind change yet, or are you still on Cap?
Well, it depends on like the way we're looking at it. If it's like first member, 100% Iron Man, 100%. So I think it's easier to argue for Iron Man, but like the first Avenger is still Cap in my eyes because he, like I said, inspired the Avengers before Captain Marvel. He inspired before Iron Man and all that. The stories Howard Stark told Tony obviously are prominent, and Tony is the first Avenger if we're talking about who joined the team first. So yeah, I'd have to say
The first recruited.
The first recruited is Iron Man. Yeah, do you agree?
Yeah,
Do you agree?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Trevor.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just you.
No, yeah,
said
no,
the
you're
first.
fine,
Okay.
You're good, dude. You're good.
Trevor, you still on Iron Man?
Yeah, I'm still on Tony, man.
All right, AJ,
Yeah.
where you at? You still on
Man,
Iron Man?
I'm still saying I still feel like Captain Marvel is the first Avenger. She inspired Nick Fury to create the team, and that's that, man. And she's part of the team now. So,
But how does she inspire Nick Fury to create the team?
by her heroic acts, retrieving the Tesseract and fighting the Kree.
But wasn't the Protector Initiative already a thing, or no?
I mean, that's not Avenger Initiative. I mean, I guess you can say it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
But we know that Nick Fury created the Avengers Initiative, though, and he goes around and recruits these folks. You know.
Yeah, he goes and recruits people for the Avengers Initiative, but he changed the name from Protector Initiative, which is what was already there. So
Okay.
Captain Marvel inspired the name change, but what about the group?
I think that's all part of it. I think that's all part of it because before I think we have to. I'm feeling like Nick Fury created it. We could keep talking about this over and over, but Nick Fury created this team, this group, and Captain Marvel inspired that. We're not really talking about the Protector Initiative per se because we know that it was a thing, but Avengers Initiative is its own thing. Even though it might be the same thing technically, but Nick Fury, when Nick Fury got a hold of it and changed the name, it became its own separate thing. In my opinion, I mean that's
okay. I see it as the same thing though because it's a name change. I don't see the Protector Initiative still being a thing and then the Avengers Initiative being a new thing. I see the Protector Initiative becoming the Avengers Initiative. So she inspired the name, but she didn't inspire the group. So I wouldn't call her a part of the group.
She inspired Nick Fury to create this, like what we know and love.
No, not really. I don't see that being the case.
Okay. We have to agree to disagree with that.
All right. Nick Fury is the first Avenger. Final answer.
I agree. Nick Fury all the way, dude.
That just destroys what we've been saying.
Yep.
Yes.
It's Nick Fury. Hands down.
Nick-
No argument.
All right. Final answer. Well, thank you for sticking around for the stream, guys. This was a lot of fun. I'm still on Iron Man. I'm still on either Iron Man or Hawkeye, I think, is where
I'm Iron Man or Cap. Captain Marvel.
You guys are still on the fence?
No, I'm not on the fence. I think it's pretty much
I don't
either
know
Iron
what
Man
to
or
think
Hawkeye.
anymore.
I respect AJ for coming in here. He's the Rocky Balboa to the Apollo Creed. He's the underdog.
I am because nobody
down and out. Yeah, Captain Marvel. I'm sorry, bud. I just don't know.
It sucks that you guys hate the character so much and hate the movie because I feel like you guys would be able to see my point of view a little more if you liked it more.
Maybe not.
Probably not. Probably not.
Well, you can't. Well, you can't really say. You can't really say because you don't like it.
I just think that I will give you Avengers is because of her, like the name, yes, but I don't think that that makes her the first Avenger because she wasn't a part of the Avengers. She just inspired the name. It'd be like if I don't know. I could try and think of an analogy, but I'm not going to right now. I'll think of one for a second.
Here's an analogy. You can have a pizza, change the name to a burger all you want, but it's still a pizza. That's pretty much what we're talking about here. The pizza is the Protector Initiative. Then you change it to a burger, which is Avenger Initiative, but it's still the same thing. It's still a pizza.
I don't necessarily see that as the same thing, but okay.
That's a debate, though. Burgers or pizza? Because I'm freaking starving right now. And either one of those sounds so damn good.
That is the real topic. But no, I mean, if you're eating a pizza, but you call it a burger, you're still eating a pizza. So it's kind of the same thing. Captain Marvel was the name change. That's where the name change came from. But it didn't change the fact that the entire initiative was still there, and that she just yeah, go ahead.
Well, we started the argument. We started the debate saying that Nick Fury did create the Avengers Initiative. And are we not saying that that's the case anymore?
What I've thought since I saw the movie, which was last year, is that Nick Fury had the Protector Initiative, and then he saw that picture of Carol, and her nickname was Avenger, and he was like, all right, let's call it the Avenger Initiative. That's what I've thought since March 2019, and I still stand by that.
Nick Fury didn't know that there were any galactic threats until Captain Marvel came on the scene. He didn't know anything about space threats or anything.
I concur. I agree with you.
Yeah, so
true.
I just feel like Captain Marvel inspired the Avengers. That's why he created the Avengers, even though it might have been its own thing. This is about super people. Now it's about super people. And that's what we know and love today.
Did Captain America not inspire the Avengers at all?
No, I'm not saying.
I'm just asking.
I'm not saying that. But I just feel like he didn't know about threats from space, from the beyond, until Captain Marvel, and that's what got him fired up to create this group.
Yeah.
With Captain America, I see it as same thing with Thor. He was kind of there, but the Avengers Initiative wasn't a thing. And Nick Fury, who came up with the whole initiative, he wasn't a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Back when Captain America was roaming around in World War II. So I don't see him being an option for me. That's why I've kind of ruled out Cap. Yeah, I could kind of see an argument, but it's more. Iron Man is a way more likely scenario, and then I'm still sticking by Hawkeye, man. I'm not gonna let it go. I think Hawkeye is a real candidate. I think.
So okay,
I would like to hear why.
Elaborate on Hawkeye.
So it's mostly kind of process of elimination. So, number one, ruled out Cap. Thor same thing. He was around before the whole initiative was even there, and he didn't come to Earth until after Captain America was on board. And if Captain America isn't the first Avenger, so then obviously Thor isn't. Iron Man is very likely. It's just the whole, because like in the Incredible Hulk, he talks to Ross, and he's like, we're putting a team together, and then he kind of goes back on it in Iron Man 2. There's even like, I think it was like a file or something. It was like Tony Stark now recommended for the program or something. So at that point, I was like, okay, they're not considering him. Boy, he was technically still recruited first, so that's still a possibility.
So Hawkeye was recruited first, you're saying?
No, I'm talking about Iron Man. When he was in Iron Man 2, he was given like a file or something, and it said Tony Stark now recommended. So he was still approached first, which is why I can kind of debate for him. So I rule out those guys. Hulk comes out of nowhere, and then Nat and Clint were already part of SHIELD, like way before the initiative. The whole Budapest thing was a thing. And then in Avengers, Clint says to Nat in the first Avengers that he was sent to kill her, but he recruited her instead. So there were probably SHIELD agents at that time, but there's no definitive answer as to like when this happened. This could have been after the Avengers Initiative was a thing. Who knows? So I see Hawkeye. So since Hawkeye was a SHIELD agent before Black Widow, I see Hawkeye being the more likely scenario out of the two. And so that's where it comes down to either Iron Man or Hawkeye.
Captain Marvel inspired the group. Inspired Nick Fury. That's what I have to say. That Captain Marvel inspired Nick Fury to create the Avengers Initiative. So no matter where Clint and Nat came in between there, it was still a thing. It was still inspired. Captain Marvel still inspired Nick Fury.
But like they were both being considered for the Avengers Initiative. There was like, it might have been the first Avengers, and maybe an earlier, it was probably the first Avengers. There was like a screen, and it said under both of their names, Avengers Initiative members or being considered or something like that. So they were both being considered for the initiative. So that goes back to the whole Captain Marvel thing. I don't see her as inspiring the group. I see her as inspiring the name. And so I don't see
she inspired the creation. She inspired Nick Fury to create. Like, I don't understand how you guys are not like understanding that. Like, it was in the film.
I understand it. I just don't agree with it. I understand what you're saying.
I mean,
I don't agree.
You don't agree with it. You don't agree that Captain Marvel inspired Nick Fury to create the Avengers Initiative?
But wasn't it like certain said this whole time? Wasn't it Protectors Initiative? Yeah. Thing? I understand that like her nickname was Avenger, so they changed it to Avengers Initiative. I understand. I am fully understanding of that.
Yeah,
but I still do not think that makes her the first Avenger. If anything, honestly, if we're really thinking about it, like you can go Captain America, really.
So
like,
we don't feel like
that's
so. So back to our initial thought, we're not feeling like Nick Fury created the Avengers Initiative at all.
No, we are.
That's okay. So I mean, I don't get that. Then I don't understand where you just really don't want Captain Marvel to have inspired the group.
No, I'm saying Captain America was
that at all.
I think Captain America was a significantly more of an influence on the Avengers than Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah,
that's what I think.
Okay.
He was working with.
So by your logic, AJ, respectfully, of course, I think that Captain America is the first Avenger.
Okay.
If we're going off the fact that the main point about Captain Marvel is she inspired the Avengers Initiative, then I think Captain America would be the first Avenger. By that,
I say that Captain Marvel inspired Nick Fury to create the Avengers Initiative.
Then I think she inspired the name change, I think, but not the initiative itself.
Yeah, the name change, absolutely, because Protector Initiative's whack. You're gonna call it the Protectors Infinity War? Nah.
Okay.
Right. So what I don't understand is how the name change inspires the group. Because correct me if I'm wrong. Are you saying that Captain Marvel inspired the Avengers?
Inspired the creation of it? Yes. The creation of what we know today? Yes. Because he didn't approach anyone He didn't approach. Nick Fury didn't approach anyone until Captain Marvel was on the scene.
But he was the idea of it. He was going to recruit people no matter what. So I don't see it. He was gonna recruit people. He may not have recruited people until Captain Marvel came around. So maybe it was just like a distant project he was gonna work on, and he was like, "Oh crap, galactic threats exist. I should like probably work on this." So maybe that's the case. But if not, then I don't know. I see
galactic threats exist, and there's a hero like this that inspires me to create this group, to go and recruit these people.
But I was gonna recruit these people anyway. So where does the whole superhero come into it?
I don't know where you're getting that. I don't know where you're getting. He was going to recruit these people anyway.
Because the Protector Initiative was already a thing. So
okay.
He was gonna. So I don't know anything. To my understanding, the fundamental basics of whatever the Avengers Initiative was based on is the same thing for the Protector Initiative. It is just a different name. So if we're going by that logic, then Avengers Initiative, basically the idea for the Avengers, same thing with the Protectors, it's just a different name. Meaning he was going to, if the meaning of the Avengers is Nick Fury's going to go around asking people to join his super secret boy band.
Essentially, that's what it is.
Essentially, that's what it is. So then in the Protector Initiative, he's going to do the same thing. He's just going to call them Protectors instead of Avengers.
But he didn't until Captain Marvel came on the scene.
Which is why which is where we agree with you that yes, she changed. She was the inspiration for the name change, but he was already going to go and recruit these people no matter what.
No. So. I don't see that, man. I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all. I don't see that.
Okay.
Because it didn't happen.
Okay. Elliot saying, didn't Fury know about the outer space threats because S.H.I.E.L.D. had the Tesseract in their possession from Cap's first film? Well, he knew about the Tesseract, and he knew it was... I haven't seen Captain Marvel since theater, so I don't know what exactly he knew, but I know he knew about the Tesseract, and that it existed, and that it wasn't anything they have encountered before. So that's what I know. Like that's what I know. That was definitely true. Yeah. And then movie buff guy saying he may have thought it was just a unknown element. Just my speculation.
Possible.
Trip.
That happens every stream, bro.
It's a given at this point.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So to my knowledge, he knew about it. About the Tesseract. I don't know if he knew about threats, because I'd have to rewatch Captain Marvel. That's the whole kind of thing that's kind of keeping me back.
Why didn't you do that before the debate?
Because the movie sucks. Because the movie sucks. I don't want to watch it again.
You gotta be prepared though. No matter what your opinions are.
It's true.
I just can't. I'm willing to. I rewatched some Spider-Man movies for the Spider-Man debate. That's as far as I'm willing to go. I cannot go through Captain Marvel again. That's just my opinion.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
It's just I just don't like the movie.
So is this top 10 MCU, AJ, for you? Is Captain Marvel top 10 MCU?
It really is.
It is.
It is.
I'll see you guys next week. No, I'm just. I'm kidding.
It really is, man. It is. I had so much fun with the film. I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you did. I envy you. I really do.
Let's move away from this for a little bit.
Okay.
AJ, why do you like Captain Marvel a lot? Like, what are your thoughts on
like I said, I just had a lot of fun with it. I enjoy the character, which is a lot of people don't, but I do. I enjoy the character. She's freaking crazy strong, unbelievable power, and my jaw dropped in the theater. So, hey, if a movie can make your jaw drop, hey, you enjoy it.
That's fair. That's fair. Do we know how long Sword has been around? Well, we don't. It's not confirmed the Sword is a thing. That's what people are guessing. But I
think we'll find that out in Eternals, maybe.
Eternals. What I'm hearing is Eternals is a prequel. So And it
Well, they
takes
might have like
Are
a
they the
post-
first Avengers then?
They might have no, because Nick Fury created the Avengers, right? We
Yes.
keep getting back to that.
Fury's the first Avenger. Final answer.
Fury.
Yeah.
I mean-
or Coulson. Agent Hill. Maybe she is. Who knows, man?
Maria Hill.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, Nick Fury wasn't inspired by his own actions. Like,
But
I guess he
created the Protector Initiative and then just changed it to the Avengers Initiative.
did Nick
Which I thought was just
create
something. I thought it was
the
just
Protector Initiative?
that's what Certain's been saying.
Yeah, it was called the Protector Initiative, and then it was changed to.
I thought Shield.
Yeah, Shield wasn't a. Shield Shield was a thing in the first Avenger. But Nick Fury wasn't part of Shield, so
he wasn't even thought of yet.
Yeah, so since he wasn't around, and he wasn't, he hadn't made the whole. I don't think he had made the whole idea with, the initiative at all. So, I don't see Cap being considered. So that's.
But like, I do agree that
call
Cap
Kevin
is
Feige
the first
and have
born.
Kevin Feige tell us who's who. Because that's the only answer. Call Kev.
Well, hey,
Call the boy.
they have their own continuity answers to and continuity errors to answer for. I know I've talked about this with Certain. This is super off topic, but the incorrect year time gap in Spider-Man: Homecoming at the beginning enrages me. It says 8 years. I want to say, right?
It's 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
That's completely wrong. That would be 2020.
Yikes!
Because it's post a Battle of New York, right?
Yeah, it would be 20.
Yeah, I
then
believe
there's-
so. Yeah, that's topic
so
for
that
the
would-
time, but it
that
just
would
makes zero
mean-
sense. Yes.
Yeah, it would mean because what I've heard is that there's that the first Avengers takes place in 2010 or 2011 or something.
Okay.
And that would mean Homecoming takes place in 2018 or 19, which
I don't know.
which doesn't add up because it's like 2 months after Civil War, and Civil War is not in 2019. So,
Yeah. I opened the floodgate. I'm sorry.
Chris,
I
you're
didn't
like,
mean
I
to do
wasn't
it.
meaning to get into all that.
No.
No, but yeah. I
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah, that's a completely different thing. But we shouldn't rule out Coulson. He's a very likely.
Hey, Coulson. What does Tony say? He's like, you can be damn sure we'll avenge him. I believe that's what he says.
Yeah.
Is it? That's about the world, though. I don't know. That's in the
about
trailer. I'm a fake Marvel fan. I'm so sorry. I don't know anything about the MCU.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
We all do it.
So Captain Marvel may be the first Avenger, since you don't
Probably
know.
not.
You said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm the wrong person to have on this panel. I really don't know.
Iron Man is the first Avenger. Captain America woke up in 2012, and Captain Marvel only showed up in Endgame after her solo movie. Yes, Captain America woke up in 2012-ish, so I don't consider him because of other reasons as well, but Iron Man was the first one approached.
Yes, I agree that I agree with that.
So that has to make him the first Avenger.
No, because there are several Avengers.
But if he's the
that are
first one approached to join the team, that would kind of make him the first on the team.
No, he's the first recruited Avenger. But there's tons of Avengers that weren't.
Captain America's the first Avenger. Then Captain America's the first Avenger.
Captain
It's
Marvel.
Goose the cat. The cat
Captain
Goose.
America is
That's
the
definitely the first
firstborn.
Avenger.
Goose is
Thor is
not-
the firstborn.
Okay, yeah, Thor is the firstborn. Okay, so
Perfect.
Thor's
Thor is-
firstborn. And
So I
Iron
don't
Man-
even understand how Captain America's in the running.
No, he's not. He's not. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
I
trying
was
to
just saying, like, he's the inspiration for the first, and he's like the first like earthly hero of the Avengers,
Yeah.
are essentially Earth based. Sure, Thor isn't from there originally, but I'm saying he comes
true.
to Earth. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Okay, yeah. I
If
feel
we're
that.
going-
I feel that.
Like I said, it all depends on the way we look at it. If it's like first recruited, it's 100% Iron Man, and the first member of the Avengers is Iron Man. So I probably would have to say Iron Man.
There you
Now
go.
that I think about
The
it.
first, you can't say that because the first member is Captain Marvel because she inspired the group and she's part of the group now and she's been a part of the group. She just had to go away. She had to go away.
She hasn't
She's
been
part of the group.
But no
though.
one knew who she was. How do you
That's
not know someone on your
okay.
team? No,
That's
it's not.
okay. That's
And
okay.
I don't know
She's
someone
not
on
in
my
the
team.
Avengers
They're not on my
movie, though.
team. She's not in any
She's
Avengers.
also
We're talking about the
Avengers
movie. She's not in
thing,
any movie.
She's in
for 10
Endgame.
minutes.
Yes,
The first
and they-
Avengers, you know.
and they meet her in Endgame. I think you're wrong on this one, AJ. I hate to say it to you, my friend.
we can agree to disagree on that. But,
There you go.
The first Avengers is all about them forming, right? Captain Marvel is not there, and then in the second Avengers,
It's about-
in Age of Ultron, Iron Man is not technically there, and then Thor goes away to learn something about himself, and then Cap has the new team, and he calls them the Avengers, and he almost says Avengers Assemble, but he doesn't. So Captain Marvel's not there either. So that's like the end of like kind of like in my eyes, that's where I see like the traditional kind of Avengers ending, because after that Civil War they all break up, and then Infinity War is just like its own thing, and everybody's an Avenger at that point. So after Age of Ultron, Captain Marvel not there.
Okay.
I don't consider her a part of the team.
There's different Avengers that are not present and like in the group while threats are happening.
True, but
Yeah,
I don't consider her a team member if her team members don't know she's there. If they don't know she's on the team. So that's where the problem comes
Captain
in.
Marvel's more of a free agent. Like she was playing for them for a little bit, and then she's like not playing for them, and she wasn't. And they kind of signed her on free agency and said, "Hey, come help us out for Thanos." You know, sports analogy for you, friends.
That went right over my head.
CV and Trev argue Hawkeye and Iron Man. Yes, I think I'm the only one arguing Hawkeye, but Iron Man is. I think we're all three. Me, Chris, and Trevor.
I'm now Iron Man. Yeah, I'm now Iron Man.
So we convinced one.
I want to know. I don't know. I want to know why they named Captain America the First Avenger. Did they do that just because the Avengers movie was coming out soon? Is that like a marketing tactic they kind of use? Say, hey, we're gonna throw the name Avenger in there to get all of our nerd fans hyped up for the Avengers movie. That's what I.
That's
if it's
that's
probably a good reason, honestly. Like, oh, throw the name Avenger in there. That's gonna get people hyped up.
Get hyped,
yeah. So, that's Marvel for you. They're good at getting us talking. Look at us now. We're all friends arguing.
It's a debate. No. Nothing like that.
I'm
like
playing.
that.
No, I hate your guts now, AJ. I'm just like I'm curious.
That's okay. That's okay.
Unsubscribe.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I'm kidding. Thoughts on Peter's parents being a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the MCU, and Fury telling him about them being killed by Kraven the Hunter.
That'd be interesting.
It's interesting. I don't want them to do that because number one, they did a whole thing where Peter's parents were like S.H.I.E.L.D. agents in the comics. It wasn't good. So I didn't like that. So I don't want them to tackle that. And then Kraven the Hunter killing both his parents. You'd have to give backstory for that, because I always see Kraven the Hunter as like a Spider-Man villain, but then he sees Spider-Man and starts hunting him. I don't
This
think
this is more comics, right?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a hypothetical question, but Peter's parents being a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a thing. It was a run, and then there was one. I can't remember exactly what happened in that. I'm pretty sure they came back, but they were robots or something. Anyways, so I think that it'd be weird. I don't personally want them to do that, but you'd have to get backstory for it. But yeah, we're 3-for-1 right now. So AJ, you want to just say that Iron Man is the first Avenger, and we'll call it a stream? Just give up?
Never.
No?
Captain Marvel is the first Avenger.
All right. Captain Marvel was the person who inspired Nick Fury to proceed with the Avengers and join forces with him. So Marvel is technically the first Avenger, as being the first person to agree joining the team.
Never agreed to join the team, though.
He never.
There was no team.
There was no team. I don't see her being on the team after the first Captain Marvel movie. I don't see her being on the team.
Mm-mm.
I don't see.
She's not even mentioned in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah,
that's because they were saving her.
but
I think you could have mentioned her. I could have mentioned
Saving
her.
her
Still,
to do something. I mean, they could have, but they wanted it to be a surprise.
Stephen Strange was name dropped in the MCU before Carol Danvers.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Captain Marvel is stronger than Doctor Strange.
Not at all.
Really? You don't think so?
I disagree.
All right.
I don't know. That's
That's another debate. Let's get it.
I don't don't know about Doctor Strange. I think Scarlet Witch is more powerful than Captain Marvel.
Scarlet Witch is to me
I
the
can see
most powerful Avenger. Just
can see
because
that.
if she didn't like use her emotions to fight Thanos, she would have killed Thanos over anyone else.
Yeah.
And like
Agreed.
I was like, and
She's
they
strong,
did that
yeah.
obviously, so it could be like obviously the epic moment for Iron Man. But like that's kind of a pet peeve I have when a hero can kill the villain and then they don't. Like she didn't. She could have literally just broke him into pieces. But she was
Yeah, if
just
you want to
toying
talk
with her.
about that, this is super random. Mace Windu could have killed Palpatine and like ended it all.
Thank
But
you. My biggest pet peeve with the Star Wars Avenger.
let me just stand here and deliver a monologue over you while I could kill you.
And-
But you know, it's
no
a
kidding.
very much a cliche that's always annoyed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why does he swing from back here to kill him? That Anakin cuts his hand off. He could have just poked a hole through him and just he goes way back here. I'm like, that's a terrible form. You're about to get sniped, dude.
Because then we wouldn't have the original trilogy. Yeah, wait.
Yeah,
Nick Fury. Oh, come on. Yeah.
Um, is Ronan the first Guardians of the Galaxy member since he created the name?
he's a villain. So no, he's not the first Guardians of the
That's hilarious.
But he created the name. You're Guardians of the Galaxy.
He didn't inspire the group to get together, so
That's true, but I think he's using some of the logic that has been mentioned.
I completely understand, but it falls apart. So sorry.
Kind
Movie buff guy.
Did you know Captain America was the first Avenger created by Stan Lee?
No,
Well,
That's probably why it's called the first.
that's
Avenger
probably why
movie,
it's
man.
called that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably why.
So he was the first Avenger created. That doesn't make. Yeah, that doesn't technically make him the. Well, we're talking MCU, so
Yeah, we're talking MCU. Yeah. So
I think if we're talking like in general, I think like it's Captain America. Like outside of the movies, would everyone probably agree? Like it's Captain America. I haven't read the comics that much, but that's
outside of the
just my
movies,
2 cents.
outside of the movies, I would say it's Hank Pym,
Okay.
Hank Pym, or Cap.
Interessante.
But yeah, what were you?
I don't know what else there is to say.
Except for the fact that Iron Man is the only correct answer.
All right, that's what you think. That's
Would
all
you-
right.
You still
No,
still not budging?
but that's okay. That's all right.
That's okay. I remember something. It's completely off topic. With Stephen Strange, he was mentioned as a person of interest in Winter Soldier, but he hadn't become Doctor Strange. So
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
why was he a person
Yeah.
of? What was he a person of interest?
Very interesting. I don't know.
Hulk was invited to be an Avenger before Captain America. That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. Well, I think he's talking comics. I think he's talking comics, but I don't know. I may be wrong.
That didn't happen in the film either. No,
Incredible Hulk. End of the Incredible Hulk.
Tony.
Iron Man goes up and goes, "We're forming a team."
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, Tony does that.
Yeah.
Tony does that, meaning Tony is technically first one recruited. There you go.
No, I never said that he wasn't the first one recruited.
I could sit here and watch you guys talk all day. Well, I don't want to talk all day because AJ doesn't seem to be budging, and we're gonna wrap it up here in a little bit. So, yeah. Final thoughts, Chris.
I think that originally I was like, it's probably Captain America. He's got his movie called The First Avenger. He's the first earthly hero of the entire original 6 Avengers. And I just always viewed it that way. He's a World War II hero that inspired everyone. Howard Stark told stories to Tony about him. But if we're going off first recruited member, it's 100% Iron Man. And he is approached by Nick Fury first. So I'd probably, by that logic, I'd have to say Iron Man.
Trevor, final thoughts.
It's Captain America or Iron Man. Captain America's movie, again, like Chris said, is named The First Avenger. He's the first one created by Stan Lee, but I still think Iron Man was the one who was playing the orchestra, trying to get everyone on the team for the Avengers. So I'm still going to stick to my guns. Tony Stark.
AJ, final thoughts.
I still believe that Captain Marvel is the first Avenger. She inspired Nick Fury to create the Avengers Initiative. And I know technically it was still a thing, but hey, it turned into something different once Nick Fury got a hold of it and started basically recruiting people, but not every Avenger was recruited. So I have to say Captain Marvel.
He was the villain, but he inspired the name for the newfound group. But Captain Marvel did the same thing, obviously referring to Ronin. So I don't know. He makes a good point. He did technically inspire the name for this newfound group, and Captain Marvel kind of.
Okay, go ahead. Captain Marvel kind of what?
Captain Marvel kind of did the same thing. She inspired the name for a group that would eventually become a group. So
right. But she is part of the group as well. Ronin was against the Guardians of the Galaxy, so he couldn't be a member if he's against the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I mean,
I'm pretty sure he's just messing around. Ronin is
that's fine.
First Guardian.
I know he's trying to make fun of me. I get that, but I mean,
I think I'm still sticking. Well, I kind of before this whole debate was a thing, I was with Tony Stark, but now I am. Then I kind of changed over to Hawkeye. Now I think I'm back on Tony again. He was technically the first member recruited. I'm still got to show my respect for Hawkeye. I think he is probably the first kind of I don't know. It's a whole tangent, but I would still stick with Tony Stark. I think that's where we've arrived at. So the winner, because there is a winner, there's a correct answer. It's Tony Stark. Captain Marvel is incorrect. But yeah, I think we'll close it right there. We did have some opinion changing. We convinced some people. I'm going to start brainstorming more ideas for a debate so that we can do more of these because these are fun. But thank you, everybody that stuck around for the live chat. If you did enjoy, make sure to click that like button. It helps out. Click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you stay updated on all future content. AJ, I'm going to start off with you. Go ahead and plug your socials, your everything. What do you have coming up on your channel?
All right. Captain Marvel is the first Avenger. And you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, AJREACTS 2, all across the board. And I'm also on Letterboxd, where I do movie reviews and things like that. So come check me out. Thank you for letting me on this this panel. I know not everybody agrees, but hey, I gotta represent the underdog.
Why not? Chris, socials, Instagram, everything.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Filmstock, on Letterboxd at Filmstock. My name Chris will pop up. I review every movie that I watch there. I thoroughly enjoy that app, so you should get it if you don't have it. And also on Instagram at Filmstock, and of course Twitter at ChrisBowie15. And then you can go to Instagram and look at the Film Saga podcast with myself and Trevor. We run it there. We got a new episode coming out tomorrow. MCU Mockskers. It's going to be fun. Thank you for having me on, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
You can find me here on YouTube at Film Geeks. You can find me on Instagram at Trevor Sandro, over on Twitter at TrevSandro1. Like Chris said, on Instagram at the Film Saga Podcast. Tomorrow's episode, we had a lot of fun. Recorded that about an hour before we did this, so we had a lot of fun doing that. That'll be up tomorrow, and that's about it for me.
Sweet. AJ, I'm gonna go back to you. Any future content? Because I don't think I heard anything from you.
I have. Actually, tomorrow I'm dropping a video. Me and Chris did a taste testing, so that was fun.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys will be able to see that. Also, I have a Hamilton video coming soon. Probably dropping that Saturday.
Nice.
But I'm not sure. It might be earlier. You guys will know if you check up on my Instagram.
Nice.
Sweet. And then as far as I go, you can find me here on YouTube, obviously, but you can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd, all at certain vids, no spaces, all lowercase letters. I actually have a watch-along coming up this Thursday. I think Chris is going to be on it. Trevor's going to be on it.
Yep.
And it's with Jaren Talks Movies for the movie Hamilton. On Disney Plus, so that should be fun. I think we said 7:30, or for me 8:30 Eastern time is what that's looking like. But I got 2 videos planned. I think I swapped the schedule, so it's Civil War review probably Tuesday or Wednesday, and then the Spider-Man 2 video I've been working on probably later or somewhere around this weekend is what I'm thinking about. and then weekly live stream as always. But yeah, that is going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for coming on the panel, for being a part of this discussion. I will see you all in the next one. Until then, have a great rest of your day and stay positive.
Peace out.